Hello, and welcome. I get comments every single day on my videos saying, eBay sucks. I can't sell anything on eBay. eBay's broken. Well, I have 20,000 reasons why eBay is working. We sold $20,000 in the month of January 2024. So I can assure you that eBay is working. So the problem is not eBay. The problem is you, and it is your listings. And I am going to tell you 6 reasons why your listings might not be selling. One of them is not fixable. So if it is your problem, I apologize now. The other 5 are. So let's go ahead, and I don't sugarcoat things. So I'm just going to tell you exactly how it is. Okay, so the only reason that your items are not selling that is not fixable is that nobody wants them. There are items that simply are not going to sell, or they're not going to sell in the next 5 years. And I think most of us don't want stuff sitting around for 5 years. So how do you check that? How do you know that what you are buying, what you are listing is desirable? The answer to that is to check the sell-through rate. And I am going to go ahead and demonstrate this on the computer because I get asked this all the time. You can also check it on your phone. And the sell-through rate is simply the amount of items listed divided by the amount of items sold. Now, the more sold compared to listed means the more those items are desired and the faster those items will sell. Personally, if I am picking up individual items, I try to pick up items with a 50% or more sell-through rate. That means if there are 100 of that item listed, at least 50 have sold. If you pick up something and there are 300 listed and 3 have sold, it's going to take a very, very long time. And just because you think it's cute doesn't mean that other people do. Or it might be cute, but there were thousands made. So the demand is simply not there. So you need to make sure it is desirable. So let's take a look at a quick demonstration on sell-through rate because this is the only thing that you cannot fix. Okay, I just had one of these sell. So I'm going to use Hermes tie box empty as my demonstration. And I already have it clicked. We're going to unclick on this. So say you are looking at an Hermes empty box in front of you. You can see here there are 42 Hermes tie boxes empty listed. 42 empty listed. And if you scroll down on the left side here, you will come to see where it says completed and sold. You want to click on sold. And there are 56 empty tie boxes sold. So what does that mean? Well, that means that more empty tie boxes have sold than are listed. So that is over 100% sell-through rate. So to get the exact math on that, you will take 42, which is the number that are listed, divide it by 56. Oh, that's backwards. I told you all backwards. You will take the number sold, which is 56, and divide it by 42, which is how many are listed, and you would get 1.33. So what you're going to do is move that decimal 2 places over to the right, which will give you, or you can just multiply it times 100. That will give you 133% sell-through rate. That tells you that if you list an empty Hermes tie box, it should sell within 90 days because that is the amount of time we are looking at. So let's go back and uncheck this again. And I'm going to show you something that doesn't have a sell-through rate like that. Let's look up Avon empty perfume bottle. There are a ton of them. So here you can see there are 2,800 empty Avon perfume bottles. And now if you want to get more specific, you can. I don't have one because I don't buy them. So 2,800 listed. We're going to click on how many are sold. There are 389 sold. So if we take 389 sold, divide that by 4,200 listed, that gives us a sell-through rate of 9%. 9%. So that means only 10% of them are selling every 90 days. So it will take 10 cycles typically of 90 days for one of these to sell. They might eventually sell. That is 900 days. So if we divide it by 365, it will take 2.5 years for this hopefully to sell. So this is something you do not want to pick up. I see this Jeep here. So let's go back to unsold. This is going to be my last demonstration, and put in Jeep because I want to see just the Jeep perfume bottles. Okay, there are 5 Jeep empty perfume bottles. How many are sold? 1. That is a 20% sell-through rate. I can do that math in my head. So that means it is still going to take over a year for this to sell. So the bottom line is A, don't buy Avon perfume bottles, and B, check the sell-through rate on what you're buying. So if the problem is you have a bunch of stuff that nobody wants, or you have a bunch of stuff that is oversaturated, that I cannot help you fix. However, the rest of this I can. So number 2 is going to be titles. If you put in your title, black shirt, chances are nobody's going to find it. Let's see. I'm wearing a black shirt here. This one, you can see, has a marlin. So I could put black t-shirt, marlin, Hurley, extra large, women's, men's, fishing. I use between 75 to 80 characters on every single title. The only exceptions to that are going to be books and DVDs, where the title is the title. You could still add to that by putting a genre or something like that. Those are the only times I don't. If you're wondering how to come up with these extra words for these titles, look at items like yours that have sold and see what keywords they are using. You have to get a little creative, but the more words in your title, the more likely somebody is going to find it. Also pertaining to the titles is spelling. Make sure that your spelling is correct. Most phones or computers have spell check. Use it. I even miss it. I've even missed putting that something's a shirt. So, I mean, it happens to the best of us, but you want to make sure it is spelled right. Don't use the same word twice. You are just taking up space and that word's not going to get searched twice. So you could use that for more keywords to put in there for your buyers to find your item. Next is going to be pictures. I am a big fan of professional looking photos, typically on white background. I do like some of the AI backgrounds now, but the most important things about your photos is A, they should be clear. B, they should be zoomed in. They should be able to see your item. You shouldn't have a bunch of empty space around it. C, you should have multiple pictures. You should have it from different angles. You should have a picture of the bottom of it. You should have a picture with a tape measure to give them a size reference. If it has a signature, you should zoom in on that. Give your buyer a complete picture of what the item looks like. If it has flaws, make sure you take pictures of the flaws and anything that is wrong with that item. Now, you don't have to use a background remover, but don't have a busy background. You don't want something that takes away from your item. Make sure it's focused. One of the best investments you could make into your business is a newer phone, because the newer phones have absolutely amazing cameras. If you're using an old phone, your pictures are going to be blurry. They're going to be out of focus. If people can't see your stuff, they're not going to buy it. Number 4 is going to be shipping. If you are scared of losing money on shipping, then you're with a lot of new people on eBay. That is definitely a realistic fear. But if you are overestimating the weight of your item, you could be losing buyers. I have seen it over and over and over again. I will tell you, jewelry, scarves, handkerchiefs, lighter items should be 4 ounces. Period. That's it. It should be the lowest shipping. You should not have it at 8 ounces. You should not have it at 12. You should not have it at a pound, because if you have that 4-ounce item at a pound, they're probably getting overcharged by $3, $4, $5. And if they're a savvy buyer, I like to think of myself as one. I sort, when I am searching, from listings plus shipping, lowest cost first. So let's say you and another seller both have the item for $10. The other seller has their item calculated correctly for shipping, which is $5, and yours is at $9. I'm never going to see your item, so I'm never going to buy it. If you're upping by a pound when it is not necessary, you're increasing the cost of shipping from $4 to sometimes $8 to $10. And again, if these people are looking at the total cost with the item and the shipping, they are not going to pick yours. So what I recommend is put the item on the scale, put a poly bag, put a box, whatever you're shipping it with, to get an estimate of what it is going to weigh. Do not overestimate, or it could be costing you a lot of sales. All right, 2 things left, 2 left. The next one I will tell you, you could get away with not doing if you are only buying stuff that has amazing sell-through rates. And by that, I mean 75 to 100% or more. So you have stuff that is absolutely popular, supply is low, demand is high. Popular items, you might not have to be consistent. You'll still get sales because you have really popular item. If you don't have a bunch of really popular items, like me, I buy a bunch of lots. Therefore, I get a lot of longer tail items, but my lots are paid for. I have the space. That is just my business model. I am okay with waiting a year, sometimes 2, for things to sell. But that is because I buy lots. So consistency, list every single day if you can. It's okay to take a day off now and then, but put up whatever you think you could do, whether it's 2 listings, 5 listings, 10 listings. My goal is 50 listings a day, but we have 7,000 listings. I have quite a big eBay business. If you don't follow me, you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I have been a 6-figure eBay reseller for 4 years now. That is Dalton. We're not saying bye. So I have the experience. I know what I am talking about. So you have to be consistent. Now, let's say you can't post listings every day and sell similar. Do something in your eBay store so eBay knows you're putting time into it, you're putting effort into it, and you're being consistent with it. That is very, very important. The last thing that some of you might be saying, wait, you didn't cover this. The price. Now, I do store reviews every month, and I run into this a lot. When you are pricing an item, you want to do comps. What are comps? Comps mean you look at those items that have sold on eBay in the last 90 days, and you price comparatively to them. Now, let's say there are 5 items that sold for $10. One of them sold for $30. So somebody got lucky. You do not go price your item $30. That person got lucky. Now, if you go look at the listed and there are none listed, then perhaps the price is increased. But if there are ones listed at $10, that is where you should be. You don't price higher because you're going to turn on best offers. You don't price higher because you see that $130 sale. You need to be very realistic when you are looking at comps on what the average price sells for. You don't want to lower the market. I price right in line with everybody. I do send out offers. You make your money on the buy, not on the sale. So if you can't afford to sell it for $10, then you shouldn't have bought it. And you should have checked those comps, and you're going to have to take a loss and consider that paying for the learning. So now, if you cannot find your item on eBay, I use WorthPoint. It is a paid subscription. You also can use Terapeak. I think it goes back 2 years now. That's a free research tool on eBay. I prefer using WorthPoint. I get a 10-year history, and it's worth it if you're finding enough rare items. If you're not finding a price, it's okay to price high, but you need to be realistic. And if you're getting a bunch of offers that are half of it, you need to step back and say, wait, maybe I shouldn't have priced it this high, and think about lowering it. Not to half, maybe to like 75% of what you had. See if you get a little bit higher offers. But the big thing is, you can't price because of what you paid for something. What you paid for it does not matter. The only thing that matters is what the market is willing to pay for it. That is all that matters. If you paid too much, that's your own fault. Buy smarter, buy low, sell high. That is what we were trying to do. I hope these tips have helped you. I know it was very, very blunt. I think some of you probably needed to hear it. Tonight, on my paid YouTube memberships, I am doing store reviews. I will look at your listings. I will tell you if you have something specific like titles or prices or shipping, tell me. If not, I'll just do a general overview. It's for the $1.99 channel membership. I do this once a month. I can take a look. We can look the next month, see if you're making progress, hang out with other resellers in the chat. They a lot of times give us amazing keywords to add into titles. Short titles is something I see a lot. Dalton is playing with the cats. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I will see all of my members here shortly on the members only live. And I hope the rest of you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye for now.